Mr. Riedel, this is like a war on the American worker. It's really amazing. This policy is a war on the American worker. I think the fourth largest project in the world right now is in South Louisiana, building an LNG export plant. And the number of jobs, good-paying jobs for people who otherwise would not have that economic opportunity is incredible. So can you comment a little bit, and keep your answer tight, please, on the economic impact if we create uncertainty? No, if the administration kowtowing to their climate lobby for electoral politics creates the uncertainty associated with this, the impact that'll have on working Americans' jobs, not just in Louisiana, but across the country?
Sure. So average construction price of a facility is $15 to $20 billion, 6 to 8.
That's billion with a B.
Correct. 6,000 to 8,000 employees at a job site for upwards of 10 years building these facilities. So those facilities that don't get built, that's 6,000 to 8,000 jobs that would ultimately not come to fruition. Not only that, when you look at taking that LNG off the market, there's production numbers in upstream markets like Arkansas, Ohio, Pennsylvania, other places where production drops as a result of the demand signal from the market going down when LNG facilities don't get built.
So there's the construction jobs, but there's also the permanent jobs. This is a war on those workers. Now let me ask, because this supposedly is being done kind of because of climate policy, but I just want to put something up there real quickly. The greenhouse gas emissions life cycle associated with U.S. LNG and with Russian gas. Clearly, we are much cleaner. Now, Mr. Watson, they said you're more intelligent because you have a British accent, but I will note that you are named after an American biologist. That said. But is market demand going to go away because the climate lobby decides that the administration should create uncertainty in the LNG export? Put differently, will England and Germany still need natural gas?
Well, I think it's very clear that at least for the short to mid-term, we are going to be using lots of natural gas.
And so if the United States doesn't provide it, the Qataris, the Iranians, and the Russians will probably provide it.
We have to get it from somewhere.
You have to get it from somewhere. And so they will use their environmental standards to supply Germany, and instead of having fewer emissions, we'll have more emissions because of this policy.
I am very familiar with the study you're referring to by the Rocky Mountain Institute, and that is exactly what we also believe in Eurogas.
So this electoral politics is actually a war on the climate. Let me ask, Mr. Riedel, if magically China replaced 1/3 of the coal they're burning with U.S. natural gas, can you kind of give us a sense of like the impact that would have upon global emissions?
Well, I think when we talk about U.S. Combustion of natural gas relative to coal, it's a reduction of anywhere from 50 to 60%. When you think about that sort of number.
So it would dramatically decrease Chinese emissions. By the way, I looked it up once. When China burns coal, the SOx and NOx blow over the Pacific Ocean and they land on our west coast. And I think 1/3 of the sulfur in the atmosphere in California actually originates in China. I hate to say it, this is kind of war on air quality in California. Not giving the Chinese the ability to convert from coal to natural gas is going to make somebody have an asthma attack somewhere in the Bay Area. This is a war on the health of our West Coast. Pretty amazing. So let me just finish up by this. I don't get a sense that there is a clear rationale. If the rationale is that we are going to decrease emissions by doing this, it doesn't seem like either of you think that's the case. It clearly is going to negatively impact workers in the United States. It is clearly going to negatively impact our allies. And by the way, Mr. Watson, you point out that it creates an uncertainty regarding future dealings with the United States. I don't know if the administration could have made more wrong decisions in one policy if they had actively sought to do so, unless they were actively seeking to do so. Thank you, I yield.